Teixeira has him cutting. Beautiful ball, slipped it through that back line. Mirza scores!
We're going to see the onslaught by the Bears. They're going to push everybody forward. Garrett into the middle, saved by Walensky.
There was no flop.
Ball in the box, and it's headed in by Diaz. Bulldogs take the lead.
To the area from here, runs up, takes the swing at it. It's right at the penalty position. Teixeira's there for a goal.
Good evening and welcome to Memorial High School in Manchester, New Hampshire for tonight's NHIAA Division I Boys Soccer Semifinals featuring the number 4 seed Hanover Bears against the number 1 seed Bedford Bulldogs. My name is Lauren Fox and alongside Bill Klein I will bring you all the action from high above Memorial on this evening, I guess I should say, a 6:15 game we're starting off at, and of course some are listening on radio, and so those folks will have just us blathering on about soccer, and those who are watching the game on TV are going to be forced to listen to excess commentary. So it's going to be, that'll come later. It'll be a recording that's put up after the game. But what we do know is the Bulldogs are the 1, the Bears are the 4. The winner of this game will then play Saturday at 3:15 in the Division I finals as the Bulldogs attempt to bring home back-to-back titles. On the other side of the bracket, earlier we had Exeter, a 4-3 winner over Keene on the strength of a hat trick from senior Will Mannix of Exeter. So Mannix scored the game-winning goal, Bill, with about a minute left in the game, and that one was absolutely a barn burner.
It was exciting. I got here at halftime, not having seen either team this season because Bedford did not play Exeter during the regular season, and the game against Keene was away. They did, when Bedford traveled out to Keene, that was back almost exactly a month ago on the 8th, and they won by a score of, are you sitting in your seats, folks? 9-2 out at Keene.
Yep.
Was that score. I was online listening to it, getting, so to speak, online. One of the parents was sending me the scoring, and he said, okay, it's 1-0. 10 seconds later, he said it's 2-0.
Yep.
20 seconds, 30 seconds, they scored. It was a ridiculous, crazy game. But that's not tonight. Tonight is Hanover, and Hanover, the exciting part about this is the history between these two schools. Hanover has got the history in the state as being the winningest school, and they've played a lot of tournament games. Lauren, as you're probably aware, I'm going to throw out one quick stat right here. They're twice, almost 3 times the size as Bedford. Bedford's the 6th largest school in the state out of, I believe, there's 22 schools.
In D1 soccer you're talking about?
Yes, in the largest division high school. Hanover is literally the smallest.
Hanover is
the smallest school in its entire division. You can appeal to move up.
Yes.
They've done that for about the last 15 years. They've been up in the top division. Prior to that, they had a lot of wins in 2 other divisions. They're one of the schools that have moved their way up, but consistent. When you think about Hanover, you think about soccer in the state of New Hampshire. Hanover's one of the teams. Oh my gosh, George Merrill, one of the winningest coaches in, ready for this, national record book. He's one of the top coaches of all time in wins. We've got a couple guys from New Hampshire to like that, including Dave Pinkham up at Guilford. And this game tonight should be amazing, considering that in season it was another win after the finals last year, which Bedford won 4-0. And this season, Hanover Bedford, 2nd game of the season, and this was played home at Bedford, 2-0.
And we saw that championship game last year. That, of course, a game played down at Stello Stadium. A lot of fun to broadcast it. And, of course, for the Bulldogs in that game, we had the Dogs coming out with their hair on fire, and the next thing you knew, it was 3-0, 4-0, and then they had enough time remaining in the game that they were able to clear the bench and bring some of the seniors into the championship game and get those guys on the field celebrating for a championship. So I would not expect to see that sort of thing here tonight. This one is not going to be a blowout in any way, shape, or form. This Hanover team is very good, and we saw with the Bulldogs, people tend to bring their A game when they're playing against the Bulldogs. We saw it the other night. Pinkerton had lost to them 7-0 in the regular season, 1-0 the final in that game that we saw just several days ago.
And this end of the season, like you just said, Lauren, has been true all the way across the board. The girls' playoffs started off with 3 of the 4 top teams losing. Totally unanticipated. Volleyball, girls volleyball, Bedford's #1 right now, as a lot of people know. They've got a great girls volleyball program, and they're one of the brackets that is still, what do you call it when you get 1, 2, 3, 4 going into the semifinals? It's intact, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4 still playing, but here, the Keene team was #6, and they knocked out Londonderry early. And the match here tonight was really, really great. The first goal was a direct free kick that was scored from about 28 yards away from the goal. So we definitely anticipate an incredibly good match. Sorry that you can't watch it live here with our TV coverage, but you will in the future. I think we got either a 1-day or 2-day lag, and then we'll be live. But tonight, if you're listening to this radio broadcast, hopefully we can bring it to you in a manner that you can, if you know what soccer game looks like, Lauren will be able to
try, man,
to do that left to right turn of the dial and going from left to right, right to left, however you say that. I'm looking forward to your comments.
Oh, that's the old school doing radio, and that's the fun of doing radio. We get to be the eyes for the people who are watching the game at home and can't see it. So we did get the lineup for these Hanover Bears, and I gotta say I am absolutely loving this kid who is doing PA here in this. I don't know if our fans can hear it. He is straight out of Supercross.
It's amazing you said that.
It's like having the Iron Man Stewart going off the peristyle jump into the mouth of Robosaurus. But so he is amazing. We heard him in the first game too, breathing life into that game as well. So this one should be a good one. The players are getting the full championship experience of the introduction, and they're at midfield. For those who can't see, the Bulldogs of Bedford are wearing black jerseys, red numbers, white trim. Hanover wearing white jerseys with maroon numbers. And what we're seeing is 22 players on right flanking midfield. The Hanover's on our left, Bedford's on the right. We have keepers on either side, and then we have 3 officials handling this game. So, Bill, one thing that makes things interesting, when we get to the finals, we will have a larger crew, correct? Or
no?
We'll still have
this is the larger crew.
Okay, the larger crew is 3.
Right. All season, regular season, it's a dual system, 2 officials on the field, and the biggest difference there, Lauren, is the fact that with this system, with that extra official, you've got the full field covered much better. There's going to be an official close by. Now the official in the middle is the only one with the whistle. Even though a linesman or assistant referee may put the flag up, that's not necessarily means that the whistle's going to blow. Okay. That can be frustrating. Obviously, for you at home, you won't be frustrated.
Yeah,
they won't. Radio only right now, anyway. You won't see the flag go up and no whistle called. But the biggest thing, I think, in my mind is consistent with 2 things. Consistency, that you only have 1 person calling the game instead of 2. Yes. Sometimes that can interfere and affect the game. The other big thing is the offsides. There's dedicated officials for the offsides.
We will stay with you for the playing of our nation's national anthem. Great crowd in attendance here tonight for this Division I boys soccer semifinal between the the Hanover Bears and the Bedford Bulldogs. A lot of B's in that mix. For the Bulldogs, they are coming in 14-0-2. Hanover, the 4 seed, coming in 12-3-1. This one, as we mentioned in the open, is a rematch of a game that took place last year, right around this time, between the Bulldogs and the Bears, with the Bulldogs holding off the Bears 4-0 in the championship game. And it's an interesting thing. If you walk into Sean Diaz's house, you'll see on the side of a cabinet, you see a picture of the championship game from 2022 with Anna Diaz in Zoe Santos's arms after the girls won their championship. And in 2023, you see a picture of Gavin Diaz in Caden Heitman's arms after the boys won their championship. So interesting, there's no Diaz in this game. We were joking with Sean the other night that if they wind up winning the championship, he's going to need to find his way jumping into somebody's arms after the game. But regardless, this is the step that needs to be taken between here and there, these Bedford Bulldogs finding their way into the finals. And for Bedford, in net, did you happen to hear who was in net for the Dogs? They have been rolling with Derek Walensky in net, but
I believe that's Walensky, but I'm not positive.
We will look actually the correct direction. It's interesting to... Yep, that is Walensky. He's wearing a number 1 on his back. So for the Bulldogs, they will get things rolling. Eli Capello, the senior, manning the center back position. Capello has had a great season on that back line for the Bulldogs, and really, we talked the other night, described somebody as a sweeper. Well, Capello fills that bill as well. So Exeter, in their white jerseys, maroon numbers, they are going left to right across your radio dial, and that one cleared down into the Bedford defensive zone, where Capello winds up sending it near midfield, but stolen there by Exeter and popped up and over. Cap will handle the ball and send it to the next line, but stolen there by Exeter, and right the other way, with it. It is, yes. Bill Jennings reminding me it is Hanover, not Exeter. I had the other game on my brain. How do you like that? Exeter is who the winner of this game will face in the championship game. I'm like, why is Bill Jennings elbowing me right now? But regardless, there we are. Scoreless, about a minute into the game, so.
And your partner up here, I heard it, and I'm so tired right now after the elections, the work up here over the last couple days in New Hampshire, that it just went right through me.
Yeah, me too.
You folks are lucky that are listening to Lauren tonight. Lauren is so gifted. I love it when I work with him.
That one sent into the box, over the keeper's head, 2 off the crossbar now, and that one will be cleared by Hanover, not Exeter. But man, the Bulldogs are about 2 inches from being up 1-0, because if the first one had gone in, the second one wouldn't have mattered. And now on defense, the Bulldogs cutting off that play at the pass, running down the defender is Logan Tennant, or running down the offensive player, I should say, Logan Tennant. And now the Bulldogs on the move. Ali Mirza up on the front line. Ali, the striker, has it taken from him. And this one going back and forth in the early going.
And that ball that hit off the crossbar was at just about 1.5 minutes into the first half of this game.
There were 2. There was one off the crossbar and one off the sidebar.
And that's just a minute and a half. I don't know how the clock looks when you're watching a game on radio. Watching a game on radio, it doesn't, so that might help you out. One of the big differences here versus last year, and I think the year before that as well, is the huge differential coming into this game with some of the stats, where Hanover has scored 33 goals during the regular season to Bedford's 74 goals. And likewise, as we've said in the past, we've got 2 balanced squads out here tonight. However, the Bedford side, very balanced, offense and defense. Hanover has allowed 11 goals, Bedford only 5. That's a huge difference. Shutouts are about the same. Hanover has 10 regular season, Bedford 12.
So any way you slice it, these 2 teams are the cream of the crop in Division I. And we are getting an absolute treat watching these 2. Of course, Exeter, the number 2 seed in the finals already. And the Bedford Bulldogs trying to cement their place in the finals and see if they can go back-to-back, but they are going to have to go through the Hanover Bears, not the Exeter Blue Hawks. Tennant with it, now back near side to Bilecki and out of bounds, and a Hanover throw will ensue. We're scoreless, about 3.5 minutes into the first half, and Hanover winds up sending it back to its keeper, Henry Cotter, the senior, and Ali Mirza is giving chase up there and just trying to add to his goal total. He's got 21. Now a ball sent over top. Capello heads it, and a couple successive headers get it across midfield for the Bulldogs, where now Bilecki sends it back to his teammate Santerre, but knocked away from him. And now the Bulldogs trying to get things back going on the near side of the field. Exeter quickly back the other way. Podolsky sends it across the football 30, but it's taken there by Capello for Bedford and sent back across midfield. Now a turn and go from Sasha Palm, and knocked away from Palm by the defender on the far side.
One difference that we've got here tonight, as well as Lauren, when you mentioned that we've gone to the diagonal, in quote, 3 official system, is the overtime. Now it jumps from 10-minute overtimes to 15-minute, 2 15s instead of 2 10s in the event of a tie. And that goal in the first game was scored with just 1 minute, under 1 minute left at final regulation time.
That was a very fast-paced game, and to have 7 goals scored in a high school semifinal game. I remember seeing teams run it up like they did in that one, but this one, the Bulldogs had an early shot at things off the crossbar and off the support at about 38-30, but...
And Lauren, I believe that first goal in the preceding game before this, the Keene Exeter, that was scored about 2 minutes into the match.
Capello over top to Bilecki, now sent back to the next line, and it winds up going off of Jacobson out of bounds for the Bulldogs, so it will be a Hanover throw coming. Throw coming near side. Jacobson has it off his foot, over his head. Now back the other way come the Bulldogs calmly. Bilecki sends it toward the middle and taken there by Colin Johnson, knocked away from him. Now Mirza has it past the end line with the right foot and knocked away from him, and now sent out of the box by the Exeter defender. Couldn't make out a jersey number on him, but a Bedford throw will come from midfield. But Mirza for a second had an opportunity at it. The ball was past the back line, but the defender collapsed back on the play and was able to knock it away from him.
And when you get to see this on video, you may see that it looked like there could have been a foul right preceding that right as the pass was being made, but it would have been a play on by the referee. I didn't see him signal it, but it should have been, because the attacking player did in fact get control of the ball. Ali Mirza, our leading scorer, I believe, correct?
That is correct.
The stats.
Now Rowan Palm sends it up to the next line to Sasha Palm, but out of bounds. The Bulldogs will get a throw from the far side in their defensive end. Scoreless game here. 6:40 gone by here in half number 1. Sent back to Walensky, now to the middle. Dangerous play.
Setting up a nice transition, though, Lauren.
Worked out pretty well. Now Colin Johnson with it over to the far side for the Dogs. Now back to CJ on that little give and go. CJ with it at about the football 25. Sends it back to the next line and up to the far corner. Looked like a cross coming. That one chipped high up, and a header comes. And that one just over the crossbar that time, and it will be a goal kick coming for the Hanover Bears.
And you know, the transition as we move through the season, seeing the referees and the teams, see a lot of people out there. As you get near the end of the season, obviously these are the best teams with the best records. And we also hope to see the best officials. There are fewer officials that work the last game, so you're picking from a pool. And tonight's officials, I would say, is probably the best team that we've had all season that I've been able to see, and I anticipate that's not going to be a factor, I hope, in the outcome of the game.
Hanover sends the ball up and over, but a little bit too much to it to Walensky, and he picks it up, gets rid of it. Now Bilecki tries to send it through to Hanover defenders. It goes out of bounds off one of them, and he'll take the throw from the near side.
I'm chuckling because I don't know how.
Oh, that was not a throw.
It wasn't a throw-in.
Yeah, no.
That's why I was confused about it.
Yeah, you and me both.
I thought it was a throw-in, and I didn't see the flag come up. And sometimes when referees have not had much experience in the lines, if they're doing youth soccer, USSF stuff, they do. But the ones that don't still will get some assignments. And in that case, although you couldn't see it, I'm looking at the linesman signaling with his arm.
So what was the call?
It was a foul.
Okay, I didn't see
Referee
that.
called a foul.
Kaplow up and over, looking for Ali Mirza. Headed by the Hanover defender. Bilecki is on the spot, but couldn't wind up stealing it. And then Jacobson tries to poke it away from Gavetti, who winds up keeping it to himself. Now sends it back to the near side to Perdursky, and
That
leaping
ball
to make the
hung
save
in
is
the air.
Walensky.
Hung up in the air. It was a great shot.
Great shot by Ronan Pajelski, the junior midfielder.
Went in
for
towards
Hanover.
the middle of the goal area where Lenski was positioned, but the way it was going in, it looked like it could have snuck in under the crossbar if he missed it, but Walensky was right there. Sorry we can't give you that replay tonight.
Andrew maybe. I mean, you can watch it later, but he'll have it. He is on the spot. Bill Jennings handing the camera for us. Andrew Fenn back in the studio and is running replay as well. He just told us over the little headset. You would be amazed at this system that we have here, that we have somehow put together, as Kaplow heads a ball that was sent into the box back toward the far sideline and off the foot of an Exeter defender, and a throw coming from the Bulldogs' far side. Scoreless game here. 9:45 gone by here in half number one.
Right before the game began, Ali Mirza's family showed up, and I got to meet Ali's grandmother. And she normally is living down in New York City, and there's some other relatives down there. And they indicated, they said, thank Lauren and myself, and of course,
Corey Munster Tiger. I have nothing
Munster
to do with
Tiger,
this,
that they listen to and watch the games wherever they are. And they have enjoyed the season and said BCTV is absolutely amazing. It's at least as good as the MLS or NSAL or whatever a professional group.
Now you're dating yourself, the NASL.
I know.
Yeah. To Bilecki. Bilecki sends it all the way across through the box over to the far side. Corralled there by the Bedford offensive player. Tried to find Mirza with the left foot. Couldn't clear it, though. Hanover. And now back to the far side of the 18, where Bedford sends it in. Mirza off his left foot just past the goal mouth.
That ball
and
was
it will be a goal kick coming.
hitting from in front of the right goal post, across to the left. Goalkeeper couldn't get a touch on it. Ball missed by probably 2-3 feet.
For Mirza, that's just a one-timer. All you're trying to do is hope that you're catching the right part of the ball with the right part of the boot, but unfortunately it didn't quite work for him, and we had a no call over on the far side. There was a Hanover player tumbling over the Bedford defender, but Bulldogs will keep possession. Now Kaplow sends it up and over to Bilecki. Bilecki with the left foot now sends it back one line to Jacobson. Jacobson holds it in, winds up losing the ball, and now Gavetti back the other way. He is sent tumbling over his tea kettle, and a kick is now coming from the Bears on the football 20, going left to right.
Game so far, it's about 70% Bedford control, I would guess. The viewers out there, the time you can kind of tell by as Lauren is giving you the players play-by-play there. It's been mostly Bedford, and they've had definitely the opportunities. My gosh, they've had some great shots.
Hanover with it now on the attack. The ball sent off the back foot of the Bedford player. CJ then winds up with it, now stolen from him, and Forbush winds up with it. Bedford steals it. Now Mirza
play on by the referee.
Gets it to Colin Johnson. CJ up on the left side, taking his time. It's going to wind up being like a corner kick. Now shifts back to the right foot. And CJ sends it through, threads the needle, tried to find, thought that was Eli Kaplow, was not, and cleared out of the way by Hanover. Great play there by Logan Tennant, though, holding the ball in. Tennant, master class on defense, stealing it from Pajelski and holding the ball in. Now on the near side, it's Bilecki to Jacobson, back to Tennant, Tennant to the middle. And the Bulldogs will take a little bit of time, get it back to Kaplow.
play of both teams has been just about as good of a match as you could expect. Mostly at midfield, but both teams playing exceptionally well and pretty hard, and the referee's letting them play.
Now Bedford holds the ball in, but the keeper, Cotter, will come out. And it was a foot race between Cotter and Mirza for the ball. And Cotter wound up keeping it. So with about 13:25 gone by in the first half, we are still scoreless. That one, Cotter sends high in the air, just past midfield, headed by Bilecki. Now Johnson had a shot at it. Mirza winds up coming up with it. Now CJ looking far side, sends it deep into the far corner, and the Bulldog player will run to it. Now a little bit of time, sends it back to the back line, and up, over, through, nothing, cleared by Hanover. And now over the head of Hanover's offensive player as well as Logan Tennant, and off the foot of Tennant, out of bounds. And there will be a throw-in coming from the near sideline.
Substitutions by both teams, and unfortunately I was hoping that the Bedford side was wearing white tonight so we could at least see their numbers, but could you pick that up? Who's in and who's out?
It's going to be one of those process of elimination things. Mirza is out. I know Ollie is still in, so I lied.
Is this might be Gabe
Gabe Teixeira is now in the game. Teixeira nursing a sprained ankle that happened in practice when he was working on PKs. He just wound up catching himself on a seam. And his foot, according to his father Jerry, is black and blue, but he's a kid and he wants to play. And I think I quoted his dad exactly. So here he is. So that one sent to the back line of Hanover, headed out of the way by the defender and held in now by the Bears, who send it up top. Logan Tennant does a great job.
Nice call by the
jumping
referee.
For that 50-50 ball with Pajelski, and they will say it is a Bulldog free kick. What was the call on that? Our rules expert, Bill.
One of the other things about the three-man system, and I love it, it's unfortunate you can't see it right now, but the referee, when he made that call, it was a charge, I felt clear charge by the Hanover player, and it was enough of a hard hit that the referee went over and at least spoke to the player, admonish him, is the word that we use in the business. He was admonished by the referee, not carded, trying to control the game, referee doing a great job.
Capello gently sends that ball about 45 yards into the Bedford offensive end, and now Hanover trying to get it out of there, but unsuccessfully. Ethan Benjamin will keep it for the Dogs, gets it over to the far side. Now trying to thread the needle are the Bulldogs over on the far side, but nothing doing, and now back the other way comes Hanover, but Eli Capello intercepts a pass and sends it back Bulldog direction, and so now the Dogs cross midfield in this scoreless game, about 16 minutes gone by here in half number one.
Always a tough decision when you have a player that's injured the way that Gabe was, from the coaching, the athletic training team, and the family, in terms of wanting a player to play, especially at the end of the season in a big match. But they made the decision to go ahead and give him an opportunity out there. He was taped up in a manner. There's different, if you're not familiar with having to tape an ankle, it's one of the athletic training courses I took in undergraduate school, and it helps, but it still can do more damage if you're not careful and you get out in the field too soon. I'm certainly hoping that it's not a mistake that Gabe's out there tonight and then he can contribute to the game.
Throw from the far sideline winds up being untouched, goes across the end line, and a Hanover goal kick is coming. The keeper, Cotter, wearing a bright orange jersey, and the Bulldog keeper is dressed like a piece of Spearmint Extra, wearing bright green. Bulldogs try to thread the needle. Nothing doing there. Tried to find CJ, could not. Now Logan Tennant steals the pass up to the back line. Tennant to the middle to Benjamin. Back to Tennant on the near side. Tennant to the back line to Capello in the middle. Cap takes a touch.
Crisp, well-struck passes.
This is Bedford soccer, Bedford boys soccer. It is very precise and certainly a joy to watch.
A former Memorial High School boys soccer coach was here. Spoke to him during the prior game, and he mentioned that he has so much respect for Coach Peppers, his style of coaching, and the way he's been able to bring these kids together, that of course do have all that club experience.
Now the Bulldogs pick a pass down to the far side. Quick move, that one into the box, poked away by Hanover, and back over on the far side. Hanover will try to get something started on offense here in this scoreless game with about 18 minutes and 15 seconds gone by in the first half.
And tonight, it's an absolutely gorgeous night. It's about 68 degrees when the game started.
The description that I used earlier today, and it's, if you've not been to Southern California this time of year, but it feels like it felt like Santa Ana winds. Just bizarre. But
is that a little moisture to it or something?
No, Santa Ana winds. It's this dry wind, like it's where you get the tumbleweeds and that sort of. I don't know if they still have them there, but when I was a kid, you would see tumbleweeds rolling through. It was the most like you're in a western. Oh. That one popped up and over to Mirza, but can't get to it. Cotter, the keeper, winds up coming up with it for Hanover, and he will get rid of the ball.
It was a long throw by the keeper, which we haven't seen very much at all this season.
I haven't seen much of that at all this year.
It was almost to midfield. Great, transition started there. This is Gabe with the ball, trying to get it, and he wins the challenge.
Looked like he got cut up a little bit, and he was challenged for it. Now pops out a little gingerly too, but
I think he stopped the clock. Did he not? No, he didn't.
Nope, still rolling.
That was weird. And I know you can't tell because you're listening, at least first time around.
Yes.
But it was odd. I heard a whistle, and then it looked like the referee was reaching to his wrist. Maybe it was just armbands. Yeah, I think he's got sweatbands on.
I heard a whistle on the game-winning goal in the Exeter-Keene game. It was odd. I thought there had been an offside and that the official was letting him play, but it turned out there was nothing, and I was just hallucinating the whistle. Very strange, but regardless.
I didn't notice it at that moment in time.
Yeah.
Wherever I was, whatever I was doing, and but yeah, there's a number of officiating mechanics, we call it, changes.
Santerre has it stolen from him. It gets through to the back line of the Bulldogs, and Capello ends up sending it over the far sideline, and a Hanover throw coming.
Part of the whole concept was there used to be a lot of whistles, a lot too many. Every time the ball went over the touchline, they'd blow the whistle, and it got to the point where somebody said, hey, if it's obvious and it's nothing important, goes out of bounds, mile high, obviously it's going to be a throw-in. Why use your whistle then? Save the whistle for the more critical times.
Now ball far side. Great slide tackle made by the Bulldog on the far side, but a penalty is called on Bedford. That one whistled.
Hanover player is shaken up there.
I think that one was on Tavis Wallace, but don't quote me on that.
There was one card in the game prior to this. One of the few cards that I've seen the entire season.
And so now Hanover will have a bite at the apple from the football 30. Derek Walensky standing on the goal line for the Bulldogs. That one chipped up over off the head of the Hanover offensive player and just to the left of the goal. But the Bears had themselves a good shot at it. Couldn't get it to convert, but man, that one's probably a foot to the left of the bar. And you talk about a small fraction of the head. If you just catch it a little angle, a little bit toward the goal, it nestles into that far left corner.
Yeah, that was a nicely served direct free kick, and the Hanover player had a clear opportunity to deflect it. And had he put it inside the post, Walensky, I do not think, could have made the save on that.
It was
really tough.
A great ball by Hanover. And a very precise header as well. Now the ball stolen by Santerre. Down to the far corner. Sent through. Ollie Mirza with it. Ollie chips it left side and just to the left of the Hanover net. Did not miss by much again. He's had two shots. And for the Bulldogs now, Mirza has had two that could have gone, and the Bulldogs had one that hit the side as well as the crossbar. So
Mirza was just to the left of the goalkeeper from the goalkeeper's position and had a great opportunity once again, just missed by inches. It looked from this angle up here that it was going to go in. It was going to catch the inside of the post and bounce in.
A ball sent to the back line that went over the head of Pajelski for Hanover. Capello had it graze his hair, and for a second it looked like Exeter, or Hanover I should say, might have had a chance to get to it, but Walensky, the keeper, calmly headed out to the line. Now the Bulldogs find themselves with an opportunity. Colin Johnson on the near side, a defender on his back. CJ gets past him, the left foot off the keeper and dived on by Henry Cotter. And the Bulldogs with another great chance, but Cotter steps up strong, and we are still scoreless. Just under 23 minutes gone by in the first half.
That was a great run, great getting by a couple of the defenders and almost getting the shot off that goalkeeper would have had to make an incredible save with. Just ended up collecting it as it went towards him, coming out off the line at the right time.
Wallace back near side. Bilecki has it stolen. Now lining up with the ball. CJ near side. CJ
burst of
on
speed.
The sideline, a burst of speed, and gets cut off by the defensive player and runs through the defensive player, but Bill Klein, a good no call there.
Good hard physical play, and the referee has drawn that line, and he's been consistent with the calls that he's made so far.
Now to the middle.
Good no call.
Ethan Benjamin, right foot through. Mirza has it left foot, and that one is off the Exeter defender.
We have a corner
Sam
coming.
Ames, and the Bulldogs are going to have a corner from the near side.
I love the corners.
I know you do.
Oh my gosh, the percentage of goals, and we've seen it a number of times. We're back-to-back girls-boys games where we had 3 goals scored in a row. Between the 2 games, we're all off corners. One on the short corner. Corey, if you're out there listening to this game right now, I love short corners. However, we need one more healthy short playing.
CJ taking the regular corner, not a short corner. The Bulldogs do have a wide variety of plays too. That off the Hanover player who was standing at the edge of the penalty box, went off his heel and took a funny bounce to the keeper Cotter, who fielded on the hop.
The ball went in a straight line practically, almost impossible to happen. And it wasn't an intentional kick from the foot of the defender to his teammate.
Joseph Glass took a cut at the ball and swung and missed on it. So now the Bulldogs have it down in their defensive end, and fighting for the ball is Tavis Wallace. Gets sent down by the Hanover offensive player, and Ethan Benjamin hops on, sends it back toward midfield to clear it for the Bulldogs.
And the referee is hustling. He was right down there in great position.
Bulldogs on the run. Caden Santerre trying to send it through to Mirza. Cannot. And now the Bulldogs back the other way, and we'll have a foul called on the far side, although it didn't look like too much contact. Looked like more of a fall than... Looked like a combination of fall and contact, I guess, whatever that would be.
The problem with that situation, why it didn't look necessarily like a foul, besides the fact that it's on the far side of the field from us, was the fact that the Bedford player did play the ball. He got to the ball. If it was just the player that went down, but it was a little bit too much. But the ref is right there, and like I said, when the ref is there in position,
ball stolen,
and to trust him.
Eli Kapla with it, crosses midfield. This is kind of like when Shaq would run point
foul
after he got himself a steal.
Couldn't hear a whistle from up here, and I don't know if you can hear it out on the field.
I didn't hear it on the field. I saw the arm go up, though, and so now Cap from the football 45 will have an opportunity, and this one would be a football field goal. If you're looking at it, I mean, it's right between the hash, right?
55 yards away, and it's an indirect free kick.
So the IFK coming. Cap chips it up and over, trying to, over the head of Mirza. And now giving chase to the ball back here on the near side is Colin Johnson, and makes contact with the freshman Gavetti. No call made. Ball sent out of bounds. Throw in. Ethan Benjamin. Benjamin left foot to Bilecki. Bilecki weaves through several Hanover defenders now to the end line. Still maintains possession, and the ball taken from him by Hanover, and trying to clear it now is Pajelski, but he just sends it out of bounds. A Bulldog throw is coming in this scoreless game with 27-10 gone by here in the first.
Yeah, this has been one of the most physical games, but I think from my point of view, when you get 2 top quality teams, the kids are more sophisticated, as are everybody, and we've got good refs on top of that. So the fact that it's physical is okay. They respect each other, and that makes it easy.
Yes.
They take it.
Nobody's got
it back.
Nobody has intent.
No.
No,
they understand. Part of the game. This tonight is just a little more physical than it's been through most of the regular season.
It will be exciting for our fans who get to watch it.
And it was.
And I'm glad that you took the time to describe it. Yep. Kick is coming, and Bilecki went back to take it, and Capello motions with his right hand, says, "I got this, buddy. You go do your stuff."
Those of you that know the three-man system, and most people do, they've watched games like this. The assistant referee, the linesman, uses the flag. He can signal, but it's to indicate that he sees a foul from where it is. It's still that referee's decision to make. And what they try to do is work together with eye contact as they're doing it, so that you don't have, one person going up. But the linesman isn't going to indicate the direction until the referee signals it. So the flag stays straight up. You can't see that online until you watch this. When you are able to view it, what is the viewing time on this? When will they be able to see the recording?
Ball sent back to the back line. We'll find out on that one as soon as we can. Now Hoey sends it toward the middle to Benjamin. Andrew Fenn says he will try to get it up later this evening, so now we know that. Now Hoey.
Excellent. I love that.
Santerre. Or check that. Wallace to Santerre. Oh, somebody's got to do it. So now the ball through. Benjamin with it. Left foot, right foot is good. Past the keeper Cotter, and the Bulldogs have themselves a 1-2 lead.
May I?
Go for it.
Goal! Love it. Oh my gosh. Clean, great passing. The Bedford team, they're just astounding. They are so together. And even though, you may not have Gabe on the field, they've got 11 players that can play together, defensively attack. That was a beautiful goal. The only way it should be, and it was 1-0 with, what do we got?
10:49.
10:49.
So, or if you're talking about soccer like that, you would say it was at the, the 29-11
mark.
Yep.
29 minutes into the match.
He does this way better than I do, so I'm just going to let him do his thing.
You weren't aware of this. I think I did this right before you got here, but I actually walked in and offered him a contract to be a Fisher Cat announcer next season. He didn't know whether I was kidding or serious.
Did you hear who that assist was from? By the way, and now the Bulldogs on another charge. Cotter does a great job to avoid the sliding dog at his feet. Now gets the ball, rolls it back the other way, and Hanover right back the other way.
The Bedford transition is one of the best in high school that I've ever seen. That ball from the kickoff, they took it away from Hanover. I almost said Exeter. They took it away from Hanover. And it went 80-90 yards in about 2.2 seconds.
Well, it helps when you consider the players that are in the center, and it's interesting. Soccer, from a baseball standpoint, because that's the only thing I actually know about, if you're building a team, you want to build it strong up the middle, right?
Yes.
If you're building a soccer team, you got a center back, a center mid, and a striker. If you can build a team and have those three parts, you can fill in all the other parts that you need pretty well. And for the Bulldogs, that transition is started by Capello to Benjamin, and you have Ollie Mirza up top kind of stretching the defense out.
Now we have the first corner kick given up by Bedford, and player number 21.
Precocious freshman Dino Gavetti will take the corner kick. That's not a soccer name. I don't know what is. Sent into the box.
Somebody's
the
there.
Header comes and
no goal.
Post.
Goal.
I don't even know how that one didn't get in, but
oh my God, the round crossbar.
Somebody sprayed way too much WD-40 on these posts here tonight because nothing's going in.
Crossbar score is how many to how many? That's one for Hanover.
One for Hanover, three for the Bulldogs, I should say.
That was amazing. I thought for sure that ball was going to go in the net.
And it was not for description's sake, as we go back the other way. CJ looking up the middle. Bulldogs have a chance at this one. One man to beat. The keeper Cotter comes out, slides it away from the offensive player for the Dogs. Couldn't make out a number on him. Now the Bulldogs back on the attack again. Mirza sends it back to the next line. CJ with it, has it picked away from him.
Mirza took that ball out of the air with an outstretched leg. That was incredible, to almost gain control right at his feet. went to another player and then unfortunately lost. But that's saved by the keeper going back there.
That was insane. Going back to the header that almost went in, though, that went off the post.
Crossbar. Crossbar.
Did that go off the crossbar or the post or both?
I think it was a crossbar.
Okay, it hit a bunch of metal back there, but regardless.
It sure did.
It was not, the header was not in the air. The header was sent into the turf. So if you're the keeper, you're thinking you're playing something chest level or higher. Then all of a sudden you have something that hits something. It was a perfect play. It just didn't finish the right way for the Hanover Bears.
Absolutely beat the keeper.
Oh, yeah.
It was so well played. And then from the rest of the standpoint, the question, did the ball go in or not? Well, the one nice thing with this, you've got that linesman, assistant referee, right on the line.
Santerre to Bilecki on the near side. Bilecki pops it toward the end line. Now slide tackle in front of him. The ball is taken away by Hanover, sent up the near sideline. And Tennant winds up harassing the Hanover offensive player and stealing the ball from him. And now back the other way they go again.
And there was an example there when the ball was right along that goal line that the referee was looking to the linesman who's on the far side to indicate whether or not it's out, and he actually flipped his hand over to him to say thanks for being there, and clearly indicating the ball had not gone out of bounds. It would have been a major big call.
Hanover on the attack. Great job by Logan Tennant, though, poking that ball away from Pajelski, getting it out of bounds, and a Hanover throw is coming from here on the near side.
It looked like possibly the Bedford player thought that he was being fouled. I'm not sure what I saw. It could have been a little bit of a grab or push by the Hanover player, but not enough to, definitely not to make it a call.
Throw coming, headed by Capello. Now Hanover holds it in. Pajelski all over the back of Logan Tennant, and Tennant will just let this ball roll across the end line. A goal kick is coming. Bulldogs on top 1-0, about 34 minutes gone by.
Which means 6 minutes left to play. I'm doing my math here real quick for you. Back you up. What this postseason so far, it's been exciting. All the games that I've been able to see, and I say postseason. Heck, the whole season's been wonderful to watch. We've had some high-level quality soccer. Look at this run.
Vinny Rodriguez sends it off his shin over the far sideline, and it will be a Hanover throw coming.
Bedford is kind of senior stacked this year, unlike last year. I think they lost 4 seniors last year, but this year there's 12 players on the field that do not want this to be their last game. They want to keep playing and get back here for the Saturday afternoon match.
Ollie with it, has it taken away. Somehow, I think he held on to the ball. Now Ethan Benjamin back near side. Benjamin, Bilecki near side. Bilecki takes his time, back to Benjamin. Benjamin looking in the middle, finds CJ. CJ threads the needle. Now popped back to Benjamin at about the football 22. Back to the middle, Santerre, now to Bilecki. Bilecki
That's like
to Benjamin. This is very
16
precise.
consecutive touches in
now Mirza to the middle, and he did a great job stopping the ball, but just couldn't do anything with it after the fact. And now the Bulldogs lose their offensive possession, but are trying to hold it in. But I mean, they're running this like it's a power play. It's kind of crazy.
Lauren, it's amazing you just said that, because that's the way it looked. It looked like you've got, in this case, it would be 8 on 5 or something.
CJ near side, still holds it in. Slide tackle in front of him, still holds it in. Got Bilecki right behind him, finds Bilecki, and they wind up calling a foul, and CJ comes up gingerly at about the football 23, and it looks like Bilecki will take a kick from there.
There were a couple contacts there, a couple times it could have been a foul, and then it just went over the line and consistent. The same player going after him.
Bilecki wants to take a kick. Capello comes right next to him. The two of them converse, and I have a feeling a trick play is in the offing, but we will see.
Hanover player was also awful close to the ball.
Now Bilecki sends it toward the goal. A header off the ground, and Cotter, the keeper, fields it on the hop and winds up chucking it to the far side to get rid of it.
Similar to
now Hanover back the other way.
Similar to that, the Hanover attempt earlier, in the attacking player headed the ball out of bounds. That ball was headed by the Bedford player into the goal area, but unfortunately directly to the keeper.
Ball chipped up into the Bedford defensive end. Tavis Wallace jumps at it, but inadvertently sent it closer to the goal, but the Bulldogs wind up clearing it away. Capello playing sweeper, and now Capello will send it across midfield to Mirza. Mirza holds it in.
That was a nice touch.
Far side, great touch, and headed out of the way by Skylar Clapp for Hanover. Bulldogs now with it. Ball sent through off the foot of Mirza and hung on to there by Clapp, who couldn't clear it though. Now the ball sent to the middle to Mirza.
Mirza's
He's
got it
surrounded and knocked down, but the ball rolls harmlessly away, and the keeper Cotter comes up with it. About 2:30 left here in half number one. The Bulldogs on top 1-0 in this game.
And this would be a a good time for before the half ends for Bedford to close it out with a goal of their own to make it 2-0 for a little what do you call it? Insurance goal. Thank you.
Gavetti for Hanover to Sasha Palm on the near side, and Palm took a little bit too heavy of a touch, let it go across the end line, and so now the Bulldogs will have a goal kick coming right here at the 2-minute mark.
In Hanover, obviously, they would prefer not to have the half end 1-0. Score one before that ends.
I know I'm not right on with my timing here, but hopefully I'm close enough. Now the ball sent back toward the middle off the shin of Mirza. Santerre with it. Santerre looks near side. Bilecki. Bilecki settles. Now the ball sent out of bounds by Hanover, and a Bedford throw is coming, and salute to the ball boys handling the game today.
Yep, let the play continue quickly. The ball right back. Quick throw in by Bedford.
Jacobson to the middle. Benjamin.
Another change of field, left to right, right to left, back and forth consistently by Bedford.
Ball sent into the box off that head of Clapp, held in there by the Bulldogs. Now on the far side of the box, and stolen there, but no, Bedford somehow maintains possession. We got about a minute left here in half number one with the Bulldogs on top 1-0. That one toward the box, skied high to the keeper Cotter. I thought it was going through the uprights, but he grabbed it out of the sky like he was picking apples.
That ball was just outside the goal area, so about 8-10 yards out away from the hit, straight up in the air. So the goalkeeper went. So they stood his ground, was able to grab it, bring it in, and now we got to play back to midfield. Quick
ball sent near side. Tennant aggressively came up to make the play. Couldn't quite get his foot on it, but got enough on it that it went out of bounds. And Hanover throw coming from the near side, about 10 yards up from where it went out of bounds now. Taken by Joseph Glass, the senior for the Bears. Now Clapp with it. Clapp to the middle. Hanover hasn't really had any kind of offensive consistency to this point in the game. Forbush far side, left foot, chipped up to Walensky, who jumps up, a little hop, fields it at the chest, and he will now get rid of it. By my clock, that's going to be the end of the first half, give or take, but Walensky sends it high into the night sky, cross midfield. Clapp, header, another header, back across midfield into the Bulldog side of things. Benjamin, far side. Now the Bulldogs taking their time. Ball taken away. Now taken away again. One good turn deserves another, I guess. Mirza has it. Looking back near side to Bilecki. Could not complete the pass. And now back the other way, the Bears, as that one crosses midfield. Tennant comes up with it at midfield to Benjamin.
I believe we've got seconds left.
You would think. Santerre back to Jacobson on the near side. Jacobson with the Bulldogs leading 1-0. Tries to find Bilecki, can't. And now the Bulldogs manage to hold it in, and that will do it for half number one. So for these Bedford Bulldogs, they've had some chances. They've sent balls off the crossbar, off the post. Hanover has sent one either off the crossbar or the post on the same play, depending. And the Bulldogs have had a couple that have missed just on the left side as well. But they did get the one. First goal coming off the foot of Ethan Benjamin at 10:49 here in the first. So that is where we stand right now. Bill Klein, any thoughts before we...
Exeter players hung around. They're in the stands together watching.
Yeah, they're scouting.
But, if I were sitting there thinking about, geez, which team do I want to play? I don't think I want to play Bedford, but Hanover still, the strength, the power, and that physical play. Hey, we're going to have an exciting second half for sure.
Seems like it would be a lot of work to play Bedford, let's just face it. So with that said, we'll take a quick break. The Bulldogs on top 1-0. We are done with half number one. You have been listening to Bedford Bulldogs boys soccer, NHIAA Division I semifinal on BCTV and WBNH 105.1. Welcome back to the second half of the NHIAA Division I boys soccer semifinal from Memorial High School in Manchester, New Hampshire, where the Bedford Bulldogs, the number 1 seed, are taking on the number 4 seed Hanover Bears. Lauren Fox alongside Bill Klein, bringing you all the action today. I get to because Corey's not around, but what we saw in half number one, we're talking about it at halftime a little bit, the level of precision of the Bedford Bulldogs, who lead 1-0 after the first 40 minutes of soccer.
Consistent passing, control the ball all over the field, first touches, and then there was that one time that I counted roughly 20 consecutive touches right outside the penalty area. Then we saw the ball served in for the opportunity to score the goal. It didn't work, but we're going to see that in the second half as well. Hey, you know, Bedford's had 3 state championships. They've been there 5 times. Hanover, they've been there 25 championship matches, 17 wins. Of course, how old is Hanover High School versus Bedford? There's a huge difference.
That I don't know, Bill Klein.
But
can you tell me?
Well, no, I'm not. I don't have that stat tonight. But what I got is this.
All right, so
in maybe 40 minutes,
regardless,
we're going to have one of these 2 teams going on. Last year, it was Bedford. Bedford won in 2023, 2018, 2011 state championships. In recent history, Hanover has lost in 23, 22, and 21. 2 of those losses were to Nashua South, the other one to Bedford.
So looking at the bracket, which I think may still have been up, the Exeter Blue Hawks victorious in the first semifinal today over the Keene Blackbirds by the score of 4-3. Will Mannix scoring all 3 of them, giving them over 30 goals for the season. A great season for the senior from Exeter, and a great season also for the Blue Hawks of Keene, the number 6 seed, riding it all the way to the semifinals. The prize for these 2 teams is, if you win this game, you wind up in the finals against a very tough number 2 Exeter team. And I got to tell you, Bill Klein, it's the immovable force, the gravity question that I am just blanking on right now. You have the 2 things of Will Mannix scoring goals in bushels for Exeter, and then you have the back line of the Bulldogs with Eli Caplow back there as the Bulldogs make a run going left to right, and unable to get to it before he crossed the end line was Colin Johnson, trying to go just about coast to coast on that one.
That was him the entire way.
CJ needed one more touch toward the middle, but just couldn't get it. The defender right there with him the whole time.
Short restart on the goal kick this time by Walensky. Excuse me, not Walensky.
Cotter,
thank you.
Yep.
And first time that we've seen that where he played the ball to a teammate inside the penalty area. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, I can hear it better.
Yeah, so.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry about the audio difficulty. Bringing up the audio level for Bill Klein. Bulldogs of Bedford on top 1-0 here, about 38 minutes remaining in the game, and a foul was called while I was fussing with Bill Klein's mic. So regardless, Exeter with a kick from the far side from about the football, or Hanover I should say, from the football 43. That one up and over and off the head of the Hanover player out of bounds. Bulldogs will wind up with a goal kick.
Hey, thanks to our NHIAA soccer committee individual here, Peter Lally, tonight, who we've seen at all the girls' matches, but he's here again tonight. He shared with us some stats. Bedford in the first half had 12 shots to Hanover's 3. Saves, Bedford had 2 saves, Hanover 6. And that's what I would have kind of guessed. Sounds about right. Dominated by Bedford in virtually every way, both ends of the field.
Benjamin steals the ball from Hanover, now gets sent right to the turf, and Capello will come up and take a kick, but you got to make sure that
we have a stop
Benjamin is
blockage
okay.
this time.
And I think a player is getting carded.
I'm not sure. You would normally not stop the clock unless you're going to card. So I don't know. That was odd. Oops, hold on.
And the clock was not started. Now it is, and I think all is right. So
the referee moved 40, 50 yards down the field very quickly.
Capello sends it up, over, and the keeper Cotter loudly yells, "Me, me, me," and his defenders move out of the way, but Vinny Rodriguez and Ali Mirza both up there challenging him for the ball, but Cotter, a very experienced keeper, he's a senior, so not surprised at his take charge attitude in that situation.
Where the viewers tonight can't see, I just realized that whenever we're up here in the booth, Lauren, we can't hear the players very much. It was one of the few times that you could hear that keeper calling for the ball. I'd love to hear how the, Bedford, and tonight the Hanover players as well, because they're highly skilled, how they are working together, not only just the natural way that they've been practicing, but what they're saying to each other on the field to help each other out. I'm sure there's a lot of talk out there.
Throw to the far sideline. Vinny Rodriguez challenging for it. And Hanover tries to clear, sends it off their own player. And I thought it was going to be a Bedford throw coming, but we have the Hanover player who is doubled over a bit. I think it just cost him his wind for a second when he took that ball right off his midsection. So the clock will continue to run, and we'll make up that time later, I guess. Bulldogs on top 1-0 with 35.5 minutes remaining here in the game, give or take.
One of the big differences is that clock stoppage is that unless the official signals it, you're not going to stop the clock. But unlike non-scholastic or the FIFA USSF games, there's no time added for any reason. So if the clock runs, unless the official time is the stadium clock, so the Memorial Field clock timer here has an important role until the last 2 and the last 5 of the first and second halves.
Great slide tackle by Evan Hoey, knocking the ball away from the Hanover offensive player. Hoey tries to send it out, unable to do so. Now another slide tackle keeps the ball alive, and a foul called there, I believe, on Rowan Palm, and a Bedford kick will be coming.
Lauren, you have any idea of fouls? If we had to estimate the number of fouls, I think it's probably something like 8 to 2 or 3 more fouls Hanover's committed, or has at least been called by the official.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Now headed back toward the far sideline. Hanover with the ball on offense. Ball knocked away by Logan Tennant, and Hanover will maintain possession before the ball is knocked away. Ali Mirza.
He's not offsides. He was not offsides in any way, shape, or form.
Mirza trying to find Tavis Wallace on the near side, but a call was made. Yeah, it didn't look like he was offside.
Unfortunately, that was a bad call. That was not offsides. The ball was not played to any player in an offsides position. No player got an advantage.
Regardless, the call was made, and it is what it is. And now a call made against Hanover, and a Bedford kick will be coming from about the football 42, 45, 46. Keeps getting moved back. Bedford sends it back. Capello, now the Bulldogs passing it around a bit. Tennant to the middle. Johnson. Tennant. 6. 7. Counting passes 8. Back to the 9 for the Bulldogs. 10. 11.
12.
At least I started counting at the right time. Yep, 12 sent up the far sideline, and that one will be corralled by Skylar Clapp, but that one, 12. So it's always hard because you never quite know when to start counting, but in that case, you had a pretty good sense that the Bulldogs just kind of wanted to slow things down and get themselves collected a bit.
Yeah. The other thing about that play is just thinking and considering another foul here against Hanover is the fact that there have probably been another half dozen fouls committed by Hanover, but the referee indicated play on. So there was a foul. However, Bedford's play meant that they had maintained possession, therefore had the advantage, and the referee properly signaled play on.
Now Hanover on the charge, tried to send it.
That could be offside.
Up to the front line, but nothing doing, and Caplow sends it
kind of weird
all the way, flips the field where Vinny Rodriguez comes into contact with the keeper Cotter, and that was more of a, he's not contacting him with his shoulder down or anything like that. It was more of a, I'm running by you and I need to just grab you so I don't hit the deck.
Yep. And right before that, I thought that it was possibly that Caplow was offsides, but the ball was going to the keeper, so that would be a situation where you would, again, it's like a foul situation where you play on, there was no advantage, it's going to the keeper anyway. Having the keeper's hands is better than having the ball sitting on the field. He can do anything he wants with it. So, but I'm not sure exactly what occurred because there's no signals.
Tennant to CJ, now back over to the far side to Benjamin. Benjamin weaving his way through the Hanover defenders. 31-20 remaining in the game. Bedford on top 1-0. That
Nice
one's
long
sent into
ball.
the box.
It's over
Long
the head of
ball
the defender.
To Wallace. Now chopped. Tried to go past the keeper, did Rodriguez, and chop it past him on a couple hops, but just to the right of the net. And there'll be a
Square pass there from 15 yards off the corner into the middle of the field, and then again, nice effort, nice opportunity to score, but just wide. But the nice part of that, from my standpoint, is that the ball was on the ground. It wasn't a sky ball up over the crossbars. Nicely touched.
That one now, CJ trying to find Mirza, but sent it a little too far in front of him. The Bulldogs hold it in, though. It's Bilecki with it, getting his jersey pulled a bit. Now sent tumbling to the turf. No foul is called. The Bulldogs will get the throw. And Jacobson now to Johnson. To Bilecki. Johnson loses it off his cleat, and now back the other way come Hanover. Caplow, a powerful header. Back onto the offensive side for the Bulldogs, and now Benjamin fighting for it. And man, I'm thinking back to days in baseball when I had Ethan Benjamin and Eli Caplow on a baseball team. Benjamin in the outfield, the fastest kid around, and Caplow smooth as butter at shortstop, but those days long gone. Both those guys now focused entirely on soccer. The Bulldogs making a run. Johnson to the middle. Mirza left foot. Off the shin of Winchester.
Yeah, well defended. The fullback there took Ali's shot and was able just to clear it to the right side. Excellent pass. Run down the left-hand side. Goalkeeper not involved in that at all. Fullback just being in position. The defender perfectly played to prevent Ali from scoring. They're not marking him quite as close as some of the other teams have in the past. I think they're respecting all the other Bedford players who have been scoring quite a few goals themselves.
That one over top, Ali will give a run, but
look at this. Watch this.
And now the Bulldogs hold it in.
Touch.
To CJ, a little out ahead of him. CJ now with the left foot. Try to find Ali in the middle. Ball knocked away. Now Rowan Palm back the other way for Hanover, and sends it out of bounds, and it will be a Hanover throw with the Bulldogs on top 1-0, just under 29 minutes left in the game.
The first 11 minutes of the game has been Bedford. The ball has hardly gone down to inside the defensive end of Bedford. Hanover's been unable to play the ball out of midfield.
Of course, all it takes is one, and so for the Bulldogs, you want that insurance goal if you can get it. And somehow the Bulldogs wind up holding it in as actually the ball gets knocked out of bounds. CJ the throw. Mirza loses it. Now sent back toward the middle. Nice chest trap made by Friedman. And now for the Bulldogs, it's Hoey.
Hoey turns and, oh my gosh.
He turned a little drag back and couldn't quite hang on to it. Hit the B button one too many times.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily playing too fancy. The way that he trapped the ball and, like you said, he turned on it. He did a 360.
Now Tavis Wallace to the middle. Tavis threading the needle, somehow gets through. Cotter has it go off his chest, out of bounds, and the Bulldogs getting a corner from the near side, trying to increase this 1-0 lead just under 28 minutes remaining.
Wow, those last few minutes, Lauren, have been incredible. The Bedford Bulldogs, the passing and then building up to the attack with two shots within the last 2 minutes. Outstanding play.
So now the Dogs will have corner kick. Jacob Bilecki will be the man to take it. Sending it with his left foot.
Corner kick, Bedford.
Bilecki sends it through the box. Headed, held in. Kind of tried to chip it away, did Winchester. Couldn't. Now Bilecki winds up with it again with his left foot. Takes another touch, threads the needle to Benjamin. Benjamin with his left foot, right foot now spinning. A one-timer from CJ, nothing doing. CJ gets tangled up with the Hanover defender and loses the ball. And now Hanover coming back the other way. They are on the charge. Ball threaded up front, but broken up there by the Bulldogs. That defense gets back so quickly.
What a transition, and here we go.
Another one to Mirza. Keeper
Mirza's
came
got
out,
the ball.
and Mirza fouled at the 12-yard football line. The keeper gets carded
This is
for
a scoring
that, right?
opportunity as well.
That's
He
a
may, he
PK,
could be,
and
he
should get a red
he may
card
be red
for it.
carded.
Yep.
I think he's going to
Sure
be red
enough.
carded.
Yep.
He is.
He is red carded.
He is red carded.
So Cotter came out. It was a do or die. So he came out past the 18, maybe 3 yards past the 18. His only shot was to make a kick and get rid of the ball, and he made contact with Mirza. So now Mirza's going to get a PK.
And this, no, it's outside the penalty area.
It's
not going to
outside
be. It's going to be a
the
direct
penalty
free
area. My
kick.
bad. It is a direct
free kick. The key there was the red card is because the goal. It was a clear goal scoring opportunity. At the time the foul was made, Mirza, and this is credit to Mirza's speed, agility, was able to get past the keeper, and the ball was there as he was being tripped. So had he not been tripped, it would have been him in the goal. Clear goal scoring opportunity. It's a direct free kick. It's an ejection. So, Lauren, keep this in mind. Not only do they have a new goalkeeper in, but they're playing
a man down.
Playing a man down.
Yep.
It's now 10 versus 11 with a free kick from what looks like, what's that, 20 yards?
It's
25 yards.
Yeah, 25. It will be Cap low. I would not want to get in front of Cap from that distance either. So there is a wall made up of 4 players 10 yards off of Cap. And the keeper, the freshman Gabby Del Piero, replacing the senior Henry Cotter.
Wow. Your senior year, and the red card will keep him out of the finals, I believe, due to the rules.
You are correct.
This is amazing. Huge call, but the right one. Absolutely.
I've seen it before, and even me, the soccer novice, knew it. So.
And I heard nothing from the field or noticed anything from the Hanover bench area. They all knew it was the correct call. Here we go.
So Caplow
whistle
at the football 15. This one.
Oh no.
Caplow cuts in front. Bilecki takes the shot, but didn't get over the ball and sends it high over the net and into the parking lot to the next side of the field.
Those that know me say, those sky balls.
Klein wants that on the net.
I want it on the net. I want it on the ground. Keep the ball on the ground. And the other thing about the speed of the play in this field, which is, and I believe Hanover's field is artificial turf as well, is that increases the speed of the game for a quick team like Bedford and makes it easier in passing game as well. The accuracy, that's why we see Bedford being able to play their game. I'm not saying anything bad about Hanover. Just Bedford is taking advantage of this.
Ball threaded through. Nice play by Bedford to tackle the ball and get it out. Leading 1-0, 25.5 remaining in the game.
And this will be interesting to see the compensation that another foul just called there against Hanover. When you're a man down, how do you make that change on the field, especially when you're playing a team that has been outplaying you all along? And basically, you kind of have to give up a little bit of your attack, but you're down a goal. That's not a good thing, Lauren.
Nope, not at all.
Very difficult.
It will be tough, and so for the Bulldogs, you want to just get that insurance goal now, sooner than later, right?
Well, yes, absolutely. And here's an opportunity.
That one set.
Who's this on the...
Up and over. Hoey with it. Again, drag back, spin, chip to the middle.
I love it.
Ball knocked away. I think that's... Nope, that's Tavis Wallace. I'm lying. Hoey's on the near side. Similar color hair and obviously similar socks, but one's wearing 5, the other wearing 6.
Keep in mind that you've got more space now without a Hanover player in it. playing a man down, and that just increases the opportunity for Bedford to maintain the control of those passes. And what you counted up to 13 once. I think I had 20.
You had in the high teens, if not 20.
Yeah.
So the Bulldogs hold it in. Wallace, right foot, sends it in, headed away.
Here's a shot.
Santerre having a chance at it. Couldn't get over the ball. Now, so Wallace had another shot at it. Couldn't come up with it. CJ, far side.
Lauren, here's your power play again.
Yep, I feel like that's what we're watching.
Yeah.
But now they're literally on the power play.
You got that before I did. See, you do know soccer.
Well enough.
Or ice hockey and baseball.
Hockey.
And
I mean,
have you ever broadcast table tennis or anything like that?
No.
Not yet.
I've done auto. Yeah, no. I don't know that happened. Auto racing, ice hockey.
Oh my gosh.
Track.
Corner kick for the Bedford side here. I can't tell who's taking it. There's no way you can read.
CJ, Colin Johnson over there taking the corner
in the
kick.
dark corner.
Yep. And the PA announcer heard that one too. A little bit of movement, maybe a short corner. That one pounded through. Capello with an acrobatic header. Now held in by the Bulldogs. Wallace trying to give himself a little back pass, but
getting a little too. That's one time I say it did look like it was a little too fancy. We've got offsides here.
Yeah.
But if it goes straight to the keeper.
It was the offside.
That was weird, man.
The offside would have been on Gabe Teixeira. He was the player where they truly had the advantage, but he gave himself up on the play.
So that time, apparently, based on what you just said, that was the correct call by the linesman to keep the flag down. The other time wasn't, but
you could see Gabe. He was running and he knew he was offside, and he just kind of shut off his motor, and that was it.
It's nice to see Gabe back on the field. He seems to be favoring the leg, unless he's in action, and then he's putting everything, his heart into this, and he wants to be part of this win or loss. Short corner. This could be a little dangerous for them.
Yep, a little short goal kick, trying to get rid of it.
Yes.
Now Capello, the header.
I'm not a fan of short goal kicks. Short corners, yes.
We've talked about those. Ethan Benjamin, far side. It's weird to me to think about some of these players and say, man, Benjamin and Capello are seniors. How did that happen? But here we are.
What grade or would it have been that when you were coaching?
Freshman year.
Freshman year in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so not that long ago.
So but no, not that long ago. But
still, time flies when you're having fun, scoring goals and controlling the ball.
And to look at Capello now, he's on the back line for the Bulldogs. He's a full-grown man now. CJ into the box. That one sent up and over out of bounds by Sam Ames, and a corner is coming for the Bulldogs. I don't know if it's near or far corner. It will be on the near corner.
One of the things that you do see when you end up, it's similar to ice hockey with icing, that you can, if you're down that man, you can ice the puck. Similar thing here is you can clear the soccer ball. They're going to be clearing that ball, I imagine. Because they just don't have as many players up the field to be able to pass to, so they'll take the easy way out. Bedford can't score when the ball's off the field. They got to have the ball on the field.
Corner kick coming from the far corner. Bulldogs up 1-0, about 20:50 remaining in the game. That one headed back into the box by the Bulldogs.
Nice
Bilecki
touch.
then gets up into the air, heads it back into the turf, and handled by the keeper, Gabby Del Perro.
We've had a couple of those. The headers down into the turf, like you said, versus looking for the crossbar, neither corner away from the keeper.
Ball sent around. Nice play breaking up that pass by Logan Tennant. Ball in the middle. Teixeira with it.
Teixeira, nice ball.
Trying to find Ollie Mirza, but out in front of Ollie just a little bit. Right idea.
And that's one of the keys. Like I've said before, I'm not positive with stats. Can you tell me, is Gabe the number one assisting? Does he have more assists than any other player for Bedford?
No, the leading assist man is Tavis Wallace.
Tavis Wallace, okay. Which that doesn't surprise me.
Followed closely by Caden Santerre with 11.
Just seen the connection over, especially this year after Gabe's brother Elliot was graduated, the connection between Ali especially and Gabe has been a beautiful thing to watch throughout the season.
The two of them,
oh my gosh,
have
just know where each other
played a lot of soccer together. They're both juniors. So the Bulldogs will lose Capello and Benjamin, and those are big losses next year, but it is a program that has a great deal of depth, enough to fill 3 rosters. Bedford on top 1-0, 19-10. Left here in the game. Hanover playing a man down after a red card was issued to their keeper, Henry Cotter. Cotter came out of the box a little bit ago to contest for a ball with Ollie Mirza and wound up knocking him and got carded. Now a touch pass from Mirza to Gabe Teixeira, jockeying for the ball. Somehow holds it in, does Gabe. Now, I don't know how he did that. He's on the end line, and the keeper, Del Piero, makes a save, and now off the hands of Del Piero, off the goal post.
My gosh.
And a corner kick is coming for the Bulldogs, but to watch Barishnikov along that end line, and by that I mean Gabe Teixeira, the Hanover player was trying to keep him at bay and let the ball roll across the end line, and Teixeira sort of,
Lauren,
it was like the Matrix.
You didn't know that he was injured.
Around him
you
to
would
the
just
end
think
line,
he's awesome.
cut along the end line, sent the pass over. The keeper made a nice play, and then the second one made a nice play as well. Now, corner kick into the box, high up, and Hanover will allow Bedford to hold it in.
But, yeah.
Now the ball sent back into the box and sent high into the sky. It'll check up, and now a header coming from the Bulldogs. Hoey sent it right near the 18, and Hanover trying to get it out of there, but the Bulldogs not permitting him to do so. And now a steal made by Bedford. CJ takes it away, looking far side. Bulldogs will hold it in. Man, great ball control from this Bedford team. Santerre now with it. Bedford on top 1-0, 17 and a half minutes remaining. Mirza at about the 18. That one off the shin of the Hanover player Clapp and fielded by Del Piero, the keeper. And Hanover still looking for a goal, trying to equalize this game.
I mean, the Hanover coach, Rob Grable, has been over there a long time, and he's got a great track record after George Merrill was there, as I mentioned earlier. George Merrill, actually, his record of wins is number 2 in the entire country for Hanover High School. And that's of all levels. It's not big schools, little schools. They just do schools.
Hanover with a chance here, fighting for the ball. A man down. Capello steps to the ball, winds up getting a steal. I lied, it was Ethan Benjamin. And now back the other way comes Hanover after stealing the ball from Gabe Teixeira, and Teixeira kind of laboring a little bit around midfield. So wonder if Pepper and Diaz see that and want to leave him out there or make a move. But the Bulldog bench, quiet, nobody standing.
We've got just over 16 and a half minutes to go here in the second half with that 1-0 score. Bedford up over the Hanover squad. It's an outstanding team, but tonight being outplayed consistently by the Bulldog.
The Bedford Bulldogs have certainly had chances, several off the post, the crossbar, you name it. Several just squeaking by the goal mouth, but regardless, they lead here 1-0 and now looking for a little bit of insurance to accompany it.
I would think they probably will take Teixeira out, definitely if another goal is scored. And but they want to try to use him, give him a chance to set something up. And we just saw what they can do with that line dance that we had down there on the goal line. Oh my gosh.
Well, and you don't really, you do not lose anything when you bring in Vinny Rodriguez.
There's
and
a
that
foul
one,
and a whistle.
A frustration foul from Hanover. It was Ethan Benjamin contesting for the ball and then make out the number of the truck that hit Ethan Benjamin, but he rolled over onto his back subsequently. So it looked like it was number 7, Rowan Palm, who got him, and the Bulldogs will.
You can't really appreciate that on watching on your radio.
I thought I did a good job.
You did a great job. I'm not. This isn't against you.
I'm just playing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But when you do see that, have an opportunity to see that play right there, looked to me like it probably should have been a yellow card.
I was thinking the same thing.
That
I
foul,
do not want to be a soccer official.
Yeah, you don't want players hurt, and what you got to do now is, where you've already ejected somebody, it's maybe a little tough to throw more cards, but it's not like you've thrown a lot of cards. It's only the second yellow that's going to take somebody off. Here's the
Shera to Mirza, and the Del Piero, the freshman, high into the sky,
forced to make
with
a
his
nice
hand,
save.
pokes it through the uprights.
And that's why
the Bulldogs.
Teixeira's on the field to feed Ollie a ball like that and make it 2-0.
It was just a dandy feed. It had the right pace on it, found its way through. Like nothing wrong with that. So
I'm the Bulldog coach. Gabe, I'm putting you back in. Go score a goal or get an assist, and I'm taking you out for Saturday, okay? Are you happy with that?
It's too much. Capello with it in front of the net. Now the Bulldogs with a chance.
Oh.
Benjamin, everybody wants it.
Shot.
Another shot. The freshman Del Piero, a man down, is not wilting in the face of this Bulldog pressure.
Peter Lally, are you running out of ink counting the shots for Bedford? How many do we have? He's using a pencil, not ink. That's why he's confused. 6 the last 2 seconds?
Yeah, a
6
lot.
is half.
A lot of pressure on this freshman Del Piero, and you feel awful for the keeper Cotter, who came out, made a play in the heat of the moment, and ended effectively his high school career. Whether it ends today or Saturday, he couldn't play in either of the next 2 games. Bulldogs on top 1-0, 13-10 remaining.
You know, and you can say that's a shame and whatnot, but it's a situation where he's a gifted keeper to be up there in Hanover. He's been playing Upper Valley soccer.
Great player.
One of the best programs, gosh, I think probably in New England, I'll say, or at least northern New England. And he commits a foul like that. He realizes that he's in jeopardy of being ejected, but he wants to make that play anyway to try to save the goal, which he did.
He did. Ultimately, it worked.
He did.
So, had that happen a couple years ago, the Bulldogs playing against Winnicott, the Bedford Lady Bulldogs, and Zoe Santos came out and had the same thing happen. That did not result in a goal, and the Bulldogs held on to win 2-1.
Perfect example.
But sometimes you got to do that.
Yep. Yeah, like, you know, they say, you know, there's some good fouls.
Capello sends it into the far corner to Bilecki. Bilecki taking his time. Now along the end line, off the shin of the Hanover defender. Bedford controls. Santerre now to CJ. To Bilecki, left foot off the Hanover player, I thought.
Yes,
and it will be a corner kick coming. The Bulldogs trying to increase this 1-0 lead with
Gabe Teixeira was parked, unmarked, out in front of the goal.
Like he's a police car?
Like he was a police car without his strobes going, because if he had his strobe lights going, they would have known he was there. But he snuck into that spot, partially, again, because playing that short corner. Let's see what happens. Does it get somewhere? It may. Look at this.
Couple touches. Now to Bilecki with the left foot, rolling it around.
5, 6,
now far
7,
side.
8.
CJ over there in the corner. CJ
Serve.
with the left foot, drags it back. And back to the far corner, and taken down there was the Bedford offensive player, but hanging on to it, holding it in is Ethan Benjamin. Back to the back line to Capello. Cap hangs on, lined one up, and then Tavis Wallace sent it over to Tavis Wallace on the near side. Tavis rolling through everybody, trying to make something happen, had it taken away from him, and now CJ returns the favor for the Bulldogs. Wallace looking back toward the middle.
Hui?
The left foot. And
on Gabe's.
Now Teixeira,
Teixeira's
right at the 18, loses it. Now Bilecki gets slide tackled and dumped over on the far side. And it will be a throw coming for the Bulldogs with 10.5 minutes left here and a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, this should be an interesting free kick here.
It is a free kick.
I believe.
No, I thought it was a throw. Yeah, they didn't call it.
I thought it was a free kick.
Yeah, it just went out of bounds.
I thought I saw a signal for it. It was just direction.
The throw comes off the head of Charlie Forbush, and now
is that James
Capello or Benjamin winds up stealing it from Zilianos, and now back over to the far side to Capello, to Tennant on the back line for the Bulldogs. Now near to the middle. An imprecise touch for the Bulldogs. Haven't seen many of those at all.
No.
And now these Dogs, even when the ball goes into the offensive end, they're still controlling it. Benjamin to Hoey to Capello on the back line. A mighty kick up and over everybody.
He's on sides, and this is going to be...
Bilecki, and now everybody collides as the keeper Del Piero comes out. Bilecki will get himself to his feet, but Del Piero made a heck of a play on that ball to come out.
Honestly, I couldn't even find the ball there initially.
I mean, it's gutsy, to do that, because what happens if he gets kicked out?
Yeah, I mean, they're in really deep trouble.
Yeah,
there.
The equipment manager playing keeper in the finals if they come back and score one.
Who's going? I see somebody coming in. I can't tell who's going out.
That is Vinny Rodriguez coming in for the Bulldogs. Ali Mirza, I thought, leaving. I don't see his bright shoes out there anymore.
I was going to say, was that you the other day that said you know the players by the shoes?
Yes.
Not the numbers? Yeah.
Some are easy, like during that 2022 season where the Bulldogs won the whole thing. Araceli Cloutier had one was like pinkish and the other one was light blue, and so she was the easiest one to find. But you could also find her simply from the style of play. Eight and a half remaining. The Bulldogs on top 1-0. Hanover will take a throw from the far side.
In Bedford, obviously, we'll be happy with a 1-0 win over Hanover. However, I am sure, and they would be much happier by getting at least one more goal sooner than later.
And a great challenge on that ball by Hoey as he comes up for that 50-50 ball with Sasha Palm, and they say, no, it went off of you, so the throw taken here by Noah Winchester, senior.
Little physical play by Hoey, giving it back a little bit to Hanover the way it's been going.
That one up and over. Capello back to defend. Tries to clear, held in by Forbush. And now sent over to the far side, and it will be out of bounds. Hanover throw coming with 7:40 remaining.
That was the first time that the Bedford player was kind of forced to just clear the ball out of bounds, where he did not have a real good opportunity anywhere around him to make a play on the ball the way he was moving. Towards that touchline, he just kicked it out. Nice safe play. Nothing wrong with that.
Now Bedford clears up and over, that one toward midfield. And Teixeira is giving chase, but it is contained by Sam Ames. And now these Bulldogs are coming right back the other way. Bilecki ends up going down. I think he was dragged down, and the Bulldogs will have a kick from the far side. Football 45.
If I were we got a stoppage of the clock. I'm not sure if it's injury here, possibly, for Bilecki.
That is not what you want to see. He's got that powerful left foot.
As the referee's walking straight towards him, signaling for Bedford side to bring over a trainer or something and be ready to sub. But the clock stopped at 6:42 to go. What I was going to say is, if I was a assessor at this point in the game, after the game, I would, if he does not get a little tougher with his whistle, drop his line down to what's a foul at this point. If it's continued to be played with the control that Bedford has, not saying you're protecting the players, but you're preventing unsportsmanlike contact to continue so that it does affect the outcome physically for one of these players. It will move on and the other one won't be.
That one into the box. Hanover will now send it out, and the play continues to be physical there as Gavetti and Johnson jostle for position.
We have a clock stoppage, and I think he's carding. I'm not positive. What's happening here? The referee's walking over towards the Hanover bench. I think he sent a player off.
Yeah, he sent Gavetti off and requested somebody else. Now, why?
Well, this is the second time this season that could have been a situation where he may have just said, hey, I'm going to just tell you to go sub instead of carding you or ejecting you. Just get off the field. Don't come. He wouldn't say don't come back, but, you know.
What is, that's a weird thing, because that is so arbitrary, though.
It's very weird. But I can't tell you any other reason why that would have happened, unless the player actually was, my next guess would be bleeding. If he's showing some blood.
That could
right?
be.
You're probably aware of the blood situation where, you know, whether it came from a foul or not, your player has a bloody nose suddenly. They have to leave the field.
Now the ball sent to Ollie Mirza, and yep, Ollie was off by a good 6 feet.
Good call.
Even I saw that one. Come on.
Hey.
Bulldogs on top 1-0. We're at stoppage time, that 5-minute moment.
Stop saying even you. You are a very, very good soccer person in general, not just announcer. You get the A+ in the announcer category for sure.
Hey, thanks.
Your knowledge is outstanding too.
It's getting better.
Come on.
I try.
Nice play.
That one threaded the needle to Mirza. Sam Ames will pick it up for Hanover, and Hanover just trying to get something done here, and they have gotten through that back line of the Bulldogs, but Capello tried to get it out of there and was called for a foul, and that's not what you want right here. Tell you what.
Dangerous place. This is, how far are they? They're about not quite 30 yards away from the goal. Direct free kick. And I thought was a questionable situation. I did not see the way the game's been going, a foul there, Lauren. How about you?
Interesting time to make that call.
Yeah.
But it will be kicked from the football 19. And Walensky is there. The one to take it will be Rowan Palm. At least it appears that way. He's flanked by, he's got Charlie Forbush and Sasha Palm on his left. So now that one chipped toward Walensky. It looked like a header was going to be coming. Still the ball in the air, rattling around in the box. And the Bulldogs on the spot just cleared out. And a mighty kick that hops at the football 45, crosses midfield.
And doesn't go out of bounds,
does not go out of bounds. Great play by Tavis Wallace there.
Benefit.
And
the ball played, so it bounced off the turf. Ali tried to head it, couldn't get up quite high enough. Could have been a foul against Ali. No call on that one, which is a huge benefit to us. No offsides.
Now the Bulldogs giving it a shot. There's Vinny toward the middle.
He's
Vinny
on.
Far side.
He's on.
And a shot taken, knocked away. Bulldogs with another chance at it.
The defender
CJ over to the near side.
After shot.
Rolls it toward the sideline, taking his time.
Go to the corner.
Little stutter step. Now he goes to the corner.
Nice switch.
And from Tavis.
That's what I was saying.
To the corner.
He's playing with the ball in the corner, folks.
And CJ now gets it back. The pass coming. Still hanging on to it. Fans yelling pressure White, which of course they want, but Bulldogs making it awful hard with
substitute coming, which is going to take some time. And this is possible. No, both teams are subbing. I don't know if there's one sub or two subs for Bedford, but this could be the player that was sent off, and so we can't tell exactly what it was for. But my guess it would be the blood situation.
That would make sense. Gavetti now back. And it looks like, I don't know, hard to tell. No, you're good. Roughly 2 minutes, give or take.
Thank you. I was wondering if one of us had the time. I didn't. Hoping it would be you.
Now Benjamin chips it up the near sideline. Kicked away by Hanover. Somehow held in by Palm, but Poe, toe punt over to the far side. Not a terribly precise pass. Gavetti now in the middle. And sends it back toward the far side. And Hanover hanging on, but now the ball sent back to the middle to Mirza.
One on
Lee, is now 1-on-4. And gets taken down by a Hanover player, sends it into that far corner. And Bulldogs fighting for it. The player down in the corner asking for a corner kick.
No, you know what we got? I think we're going to have a free kick from back on the 30. He's pulled the goal.
That was where that trip was.
Yes. So what he's saying is that he let the play on, and honestly, that was a little too long for that to go.
That was a fairly long.
And the ball goes out of bounds. You really shouldn't have brought it back, to be honest with you, but more than just my opinion. That's the rule.
Ball rolled back near side. Tavis Wallace. Tavis passed his defender, gets, yep.
Grabbed.
He got his shoulder grabbed by the defender.
Now he's fouled, and now
fouled.
we're going to see a card. He's pulling a card out.
And the player should be carded
Referee.
first for grabbing the guy's jersey.
There you go.
Sure enough.
We got the card.
There goes the card. Noah Winchester in his last,
let's quick review
his
that.
last high school soccer game.
The first thing we had was the grab. The jersey was grabbed and play on. And then the same player fouled the player just a few seconds later. And therefore, it was a play on in the beginning, but then the second foul, deliberately just trying to, play on sportsmanlike. He gets the card, yellow card, not the red. So he
gets the yellow.
Unless he's accumulated cards during the season. No, actually, I'm sorry. The beginning of the playoffs, your prior yellow cards are erased. You start with a 0. So he doesn't sit out anything going forward.
So now the Bulldogs with a 1-0 lead in the waning seconds of regulation. Now there may be some kind of additional time here. The timer is done. But regardless, Tavis Wallace to take the kick. Chips it toward the left side. Great ball. And
goal kick.
It goes out of bounds. The keeper, Del Piero, will take the goal kick.
Yeah,
I lied. One of the Hanover defenders will take that goal kick.
There's two backs. And this could be the game. I just heard a bunch of whistles. What is he doing? Oh, substitution.
There was a sub. I don't know if they had brought that player into the game, but...
However, the clock should be running now, especially because it was a Hanover team that is subbing, not Bedford, which could be considered a delay of the game. We don't know whether the clock's running or not. That's what's frustrating.
It is down on the field, handled by the official.
Yep. So the only thing you can do is look at him and see if he grabs his wrist right now when the ball's played, and he is. Yes, he did. So he did stop the clock on that substitution anyway.
Winchester with it, left foot, sent toward the middle. Headed away by Bedford. Things are getting a little bit chippy. Actually, they've been for a little bit now. Now Benjamin, Mirza. You just hope if you're Bedford that nobody gets hurt. Ball sent far side. Bilecki. And Bilecki doing a good job staying in, just kind of milking some time.
This is so smart play by Bedford.
We saw the girls do this a number of times too, just sort of delay the end of the game, hanging onto the ball down in the corner, but can't imagine there's much more time remaining, but you never know. And had a Hanover player go down as a result of a foul committed by Bedford, so a kick coming from about the 20-yard line. Football 20 far side.
Long ball
and
down
now
to the end, but not far enough to make a difference.
Capello will clear that one across midfield. Winchester chest it back across midfield for Hanover. Now Winchester's left foot sends it to about the 15, where the Bulldogs will, Hoey wound up not sending it out of bounds, and Hanover now has a chance of this thing yet again. And held in there by Clapp. Clapp dribbling, Mirza harassing him. The Bulldogs will clear, and it will go out of bounds around midfield.
That was the first opportunity. Right now, we had all the players except for the Hanover keeper were down in the other end. That hasn't happened, I don't think, tonight. That shows you how strong the Bedford defense has been to keep the ball up the field.
Winchester will send it in on net. And that kick sent on net. Tough play coming. And
keeper was fouled.
Lenski goes to the ball,
trying to fouled, I'm pretty sure.
Trying to make a play on the ball and got taken out. And it will just be a goal kick. So I guess that's neither here nor there if it's a goal kick or a foul from there, right?
Yeah, but he shouldn't have stopped the clock. I think he stopped the clock. If anything, it would have, I don't know. I thought I saw a foul and a goal kick. Excuse me, a carding situation there.
Ball sent to Hanover, a header. They're on about the football 20, sent out by Benjamin. Now the ball sent across midfield by the Bulldogs into the Hanover defensive end. And the keeper, Del Piero,
referee is
slows it down at about
counting down the last 10 seconds right now.
And it appears that the clock is moving toward its finish, but we will wait to see. Winchester's left foot sent up and over. Hanover with a chance at things, but nope. Hoey will send it down the left side, and Mirza hanging on to the ball the clock continuing to run. 5 minutes has long since happened, so certainly some extra time, and a Bedford player gets dumped there. And a foul call at the Hanover bench, animated, waving their pennies. And a foul coming, but we are now at about 8 or 9 minutes after the clock stopped for 5 minutes. So.
And I don't think the official's mechanics are correct if he's been stopping the clock in a foul situation like this. It's just not right. But no, I don't think he did that time.
Ball headed out far side. Bilecki, Hanover to have a throw.
However, now we have game. And that's it, folks. That's it. Bedford Bulldogs in the finals again.
That was a long 5 minutes.
Wow.
So with that said,
you need another haircut.
No.
Your hair's been growing out really quick.
Seriously,
Here
it's
in the
gotten
booth.
longer.
Oh my gosh.
The Bulldogs with a 1-0 win over the Hanover Bears. That goal coming off the foot of Ethan Benjamin with 10:49 left in the first, and giving the Bulldogs a 1-0 lead that they would hang on to. Certainly it was a 1-0 game, but it could have been much more, Bill.
Certainly could have. It came so close so many times. That's, I think, in one game, I've not seen the ball hit the crossbar upright that many times. One of the pluses from tonight is it looked like Gabe Teixeira is back, and I don't believe that he re-injured the foot. I hope he didn't. So Bedford will be full strength again on Saturday. And who are they going to play? Do you remember who that other team is?
They are going to take on the Exeter Blue Hawks in that game on Saturday, 3:15 right here at Memorial. So that one shaping up to be a good one. We saw Will Mannix of Exeter score 3 earlier today, and the Blue Hawks 4-3 win. So it is going to be a battle of the Bedford back line, which is masterful, helmed by Eli Capello, going up against a tough Exeter offense that is led by Will Mannix, he who has scored over 30 goals in this season. So
yeah. We'll be back here Saturday, right? And it will be radio, I believe, a nod of the head from Bill Jennings.
Yep.
Radio only.
And it may be you and Corey, it may be, who knows. So anyway, regardless, your final score here from Memorial High School, the Bedford Bulldogs 1 and the Hanover Bears 0. You have been listening to and watching Bedford Bulldogs soccer on WBNH 105.1 and BCTV.